Welcome back on Dinobot. Today I want to propose you a video about the unboxing and review about Sludge. This is technically the first of the series about the Dinobot course that can be combined to realize Volcanicus, but it's my second of the Dinobots because I prefer to buy 3 checks before because I liked more that model and I wanted that because it was my first one of the Dinobot that I ever bought, so I wanted to have the same but new one. This one instead, it's one that I never owned because I owned eventually Grimlock, but never this one, so I'm quite curious to have this one. Moreover, because it's an essential part to create the body of Volcanicus, but we'll see later. So here you have the box itself, that it's old. It's quite common about this saga, and sincerely I prefer that it's covered here because I don't want something to enter here to ruin eventually the model till it's delivered and so on, but anyway, okay. What I like is that there are really few things that can keep the model in position, and you can find here this sword that keep the model binded, and so it's quite easy to free and you don't have to have the plastics that move around and so on, so it's quite better this way to, I can say, to take off the model from the box itself, so it's much easier, and I like that way, not the window here that it's free, but the other is yes. So we can go to see a bit better about the box and talk about some of the quite nice things that we can gain from this model that sincerely in robot version I don't appreciate quite a lot, but still it's good to have all of them to compose to have Volcanicus, because it's one of the main parts is to create it. So this is an official Hasbro model that is released then by Takara Tomy eventually. This is about the images. I suggest you eventually to cut off these ones because I think they are amazing to have. They are really great designs, so it's a pity to throw it away. Here we have these that are the junctions and so on, so other parts related about these ones. It's legacy one, so okay. And here we can find that we have this, that it's the model, and I don't like this system about the legs, because okay, they are solid when you transform so to create Volcanicus on, but this is not the best. Here we have the robot version in Dinosaur 1, so this it's not the best, but it's not so good. So we have 8 steps to move from this to this, and as you can see it's the first of 6, because we yet know 5 of the Dinobot that will go to compose the Volcanicus, at least anyway 1 we know for sure that it is, because it's the only missing one of the 5 original, so it's really obvious that it will be that one. Still, I think that it could be quite intriguing to see, and I'm really quite excited to go to free this one and see the transformations and so on, and then combine to have the nucleus, the main body of Volcanicus. So let's open it. So here we have the instructions that I suggest you to read, because you need them to be able to transform and understand. Here the guarantee that we can remove, and the part about the transformation to obtain the part related about Volcanicus. So it's essential, as you see, to associate with Trichex. And so this is the model. Sincerely, I don't like the part related about the legs. They are really awful made. I don't like such one. This part can be put on the model on the back, so it's not something that you'll have outside and so on, so not to worry about. And really about this one, could be used as a background eventually, or if you put in some way you can put also the others up here so that you don't ruin the model eventually. As you can see, this can be really easy detached, so you don't have to cut and so on, and it's quite easy to remove the model itself. So it's quite nice. I like anyway the face and so on. The amount of details are not bad about such model. It's only the part about the legs that it's not really great. but all the other parts about the model, it's not bad at all. So I think that it's quite better than you can think, or better than it's in robot version. So now we have to free it and see the transformations, because it's something that we should look at. So we can analyze the model itself. Here we have this part that it has to be connected here so that we can use, but it's okay also to keep aside eventually if you want, but it's better. It's in some way recall some of the version that has this part that is detached, others that you have to attach and so on. Here we have the arms that you can rotate quite a lot, but this it's something that is fixed anyway, so pay attention. But you can move this around, so it's not bad, because you have in some way more mobility than the original Gen 1. But the real problem is the leg, because you can see these that aren't static holes directly visible, because the arms I can understand, but this part no. Moreover, if you detach here, you can have that this is the system. So okay, if you go to see about side, it's not bad at the end, because okay, there are holes here, but you can have a bit of mobility. The real problem is that here you can flip up and down, as you see. The real problem is that it's understacking this way. It's really awful. It's almost better from the back than from the front part. Here you can even more mobility eventually about the arms, because you can have this part that are useful for the transformation that you can eventually use to create other things. So you have to pay attention eventually about such one that can be an obstacle eventually. But anyway, you have quite a lot of degree in the upper part of the transformation. The details are nice. You can rotate the head, so it's a good thing also, this one, sincerely I think. And really, it's not bad if you exclude the legs, because are the legs the problem about such model, and it's I think universally announced such thing, because itself it's not bad, but by itself these legs are a bit of a pity about such model, because it's a bit of pity to see that it's done like this. I would have better preferred a different engineering about the legs themselves. So we can now transform this in the Dinobot version, so the Brontosaurus, and see how it is. We can see a bit about such model transformed. I suggest you to transform and rotate the legs before to close the upper part. In the instruction it's written otherwise, but sincerely you have quite a lot of problem if you think to do the rotating of the breastplate after that you close this, because it will be quite difficult. The problem itself, it's not bad. If you see from the upper part or from the side, okay, there is a hole here, but you can avoid it to see. But the real problem is the front part and the back. These holes are useless. They should not even be. There is no reason, because they could be appreciated. Also this one, this hole could be at least closed or made something that it's a bit closer, so on. The mouth can't open. Okay, in Trichex there is the mouth that it's part of the transformation. Okay, but this model it's quite problematic, because the legs are fixed. You can't move. You can play with something movement or so on to make some design. Really, this is a model that it's engineering poor, because if you go to see, you can make some photos on from the upper part, from the side, it's perfect. But if you go to see the other sides, it's bad. There is no real reason, because it should be this. This is one of the models that you say that okay, it has been done because you needed such model and you needed to create Volcanicus, by itself it has poor value, because really, how you can justify such type of things? And it's a bit of pity, because you only needed to add a bit of plastic here, something here to be closed, because you don't need such hose. At least if it could be useful for something else, it's understandable, but such it is not. There is no real way to justify such things. So this is quite a problem to think about. So it's a bit of pity about, because it has quite a lot of potential and it's quite wasted too. And here we can see the comparison of Trichex and Sludge, so Slug and Sludge. Here we can see that the Trichex it's even bigger than Sludge. It's really quite awful, this thing, because at least a bit bigger. This one, it's a puppy of the Brontosaurus, to be even smaller than this one that it's a Triceratops. Really, I don't understand. You can understand that really how can be associated these things, because it's a bit problematic about this. And as you see, the hose, the amount of detail, that really this one it's much better than this. Okay, I understand that this is the first technically, and I bought this as first, but the difference it's quite great and quite problematic if you think about, because really it's a small one, this quite small, and by itself could be even appreciated, but it's this one can be considered a transformer model, this one could be considered a toy as it is, and really the real values seem to be Volcanicus. And here we can see the two together in robot version, and as you can see the difference it's quite amazing, because the upper part could be quite similar in some way. It's nice. Okay, this is the with the weapon and so on, it's not a problem. As the legs could be even appreciated, but these parts the change, it's really, see the difference, it's something completely crazy about, because you can perceive quite a lot of difference about what you can gain from the two models, and you can enjoy more this one than this. So it's a bit of pity really, because okay, I never own Sludge previously, but I think that it's a pity to see that they are like this, because I would have even preferred something better about. Aesthetically, seeing them together it's not so bad, but at the same time I see the missing, and it's a pity. So now we can transform this in the part related about having this model combined to obtain the center part of Volcanicus together with Trichex that I have yet, so we can start with. To transform this in the Volcanicus part, so we raise these arms, so here the legs we flip like this and like this, here up, here up, and it's finished. Really, you have obtained what you needed to transform in the part related about Volcanicus. You can take this, that it's part of the tail, that it was a weapon with the head of Volcanicus, that it's from Trichex. You put in such a way here, and as you can see here, you can find that we have the hole here, that it's where it moved the head of this model, and these three ones that go here. So open a bit these ones when you do this, and you can link together this way, so that you can do such, and you obtain the connector. Here you can simply connect this hole and this pin together, so that you can reinforce it. Same this side, so it's quite easy, as you can see. And okay, it's ready. It's the model that you needed about the main body of Volcanicus. If you go to see, you have this hole that you can use to combine the other Dinobots, or the Weaponizer, the Fossilizer, the Junkions and so on. Also these ones eventually. And so it's not bad at all, if you see, because it's quite nice itself. One build, this center part, it's really a good thing. Here you can move up and down, you can decide to do like this or like this as you want. From the back there are some holes, but it's not quite a problem, because anyway you can fill without any problem. And from the front it's not bad. At the same time, it's not so good if you think that for example this one it's Sludge and it's quite easy. Anyway, you can rotate here, and this is notice the main body of Sludge itself, so it's quite solid anyway, the construction about the central part, but it's a pity to have the rest part that are not the best in that way, and this is a bit of pity about, because I think that could make you appreciate even more such mod if there would be a bit more details or something more about such mod, because it's quite nice at the end. And now I want to combine the main part of Volcanicus, the center part, with the only, at least for now, that I have about the fossilizer, to see what I can gain, because I can fill the missing parts and create a model by itself. So I think that it's quite intriguing to see a bit better about such. And so here I combine Rectonite with this Sludge and Slug part of Volcanicus. It's quite crazy thing, and I not used a really great method, but still you can understand that you can really combine in a lot of different ways to gain something, and I made without having the other parts that are related about the Dinobots to create Volcanicus. Anyway, something that it could be fun to play with, at least for some time and so on. So this is one of the main parts, because I chosen such type of models, because you can really combine and having something completely suited and fun to play with. So really, give a try to such if you're interested about, because this is something made on so to have fun for some minutes and so on. Had to find some way to understand about the legs, but at the same time that give you an idea of what you can gain. Simply add something else, really. Okay, Rectonite it's a bit massive, so okay, but if you have other weaponizer, maybe some junction, maybe some weaponizer to fossilizer or other things, you can combine to gain such one, and it's not a bad thing at all, no? So we can have at least a bit of fun, and it's cause this that I bought such model. Eventually, remember that the main body of Sludge you can change, for example, trying to half convert and so on, but the main holes are here, so the part about the legs, the part about the shoulder pads, here eventually you can use these ones to create also something else, adding junctions, fossilize, weaponize and so on. And you can try to add transforms so that you can combine these parts, or you can try to change the rotation about these, you can mobilize other things. So try to use also a bit of fantasy and the junction, weaponizer and fossilizer to create eventually also with this something completely different, because it can be quite worth, and it's something that could make some idea that make this value more than it should be based on the base that it presents. So from Dinobot it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.